Okay, welcome to Wednesday. All right, your homework was 1 through 24 all, and nearly every single one of these was a graph. So rather than showing you 24 pictures of graphs, I'm just going to ask if there were any questions, like I really need to know if I got number 20 right or wrong. Go ahead and email me and I will email you a picture of the answer. So we're just going to use our time a little bit wisely today. Last class was kind of an introduction to negative numbers. Today is the meat and potatoes class right here. We're going to add and subtract positive and negative numbers. So let's get on with it. All right, so I've broken this class into 2 days. We need 2 days for adding and subtracting. Adding and subtracting are brand new rules, brand new rules. So you're definitely going to need some time with this material. All right, tonight the homework is a worksheet. It's a lot of problems. It's a lot of problems. Do as many of them. You got 2 days to do them, so you should be able to get the whole darn thing done. You're gonna hear this throughout the video. I'm gonna tell you over and over and over again. Write down the instructions, write down the steps, and read the steps to you. If you remember when I told you how to solve equations, remember solving equations, where's the variable, what side is it on, what's attached to it, do the opposite. It's going to be the same mantra for adding and subtracting negative numbers. There are going to be rules. Now, unfortunately, the rules aren't going to be as simple as they were for solving equations. There's going to be, well, which particular version are we in? And there's going to be new rules for each particular case. As I said in the last class, it usually takes kids months to get used to doing this. However, it will not take you months to write down the steps. You can write down the steps. You can do the steps. The goal here isn't to have this memorized in one class or two classes. Our goal here is to have a pretty good grasp on the process come test day. Hey, so that's my goal. If all of you guys are experts come next year by pre-algebra, I will be happy. Okay, so today's class is just adding. All we're going to do today and on Friday is simply add. We'll save subtraction for next week. Yeah, it's going to take us 2 days just to do adding. All right, so one objective, can you add integers? Let's see. First off, quick review. What's an integer? We said this in last class on Monday. We take the natural numbers. Those are the caveman, cavewoman numbers. We take their opposites. That would be the negative numbers. And we simply add 0. And that's the definition of integers. Those are those natural numbers plus 0. And the opposite of the natural numbers, the negative numbers, those are the numbers that make up the integers. That means positive, negative, and 0. Okay. How do you add numbers? Well, it's been a long time since you were first introduced to adding. I will say this. Adding is it's the action of grouping things together and counting. When you add something, you're simply taking the two quantities, putting them together in one pile, and then counting how many things you have. So I'm going to introduce you to a new game. And many of you may remember this game. This is generally one of the techniques used when you teach really young kids, kindergartners and first graders, how to add. Okay, they do what's called the coin games. Okay, a coin game is this: you literally have cardboard coins, and on each coin there is a 1 written on it. Now, we have to deal with negative numbers, so our coins aren't going to have a 1 on them. They're going to have a plus on them. That plus represents the number 1. Conversely, we'll have another coin, we'll make it blue, and that coin will represent a negative 1. So a yellow 1 represents plus 1, a blue 1 represents minus 1. Make sense? So how would you represent plus 2? Well, plus 2, I would need 2 positive coins. How would you represent negative 2? I would represent negative 2 by 2 negative coins. So this is called the coin game. I'm going to show you how to add with these coins. So here is literally, welcome, big boy, big girl day. This is literally your first jump into how do you add negative numbers. So let's see. I am grouping together two numbers there. I am grouping negative 7, and to that I am adding a negative 4. Negative 7 plus negative 4. How do I know it's adding? Well, the sign right there says to add. It says to add a negative 7 to a negative 4. So we're going to use the coin method to show you how this works. So what was the first number there? The first number there was a -7. So how many negative coins do I need to represent -7? Well, I need 7 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 7 negative coins. To that, I am adding. Why am I adding? Because look at that yellow arrow right there. It points. We're adding. To that, I'm going to add -4, and I'm going to represent -4 with 4 negative coins. Addition is the act of grouping. So all I do is I take that left group of coins and push it together with the right group. I'm literally going to push those coins together. See what I did? And then add. Or I'm sorry, count. We're going to count how many coins we have. Count how many coins we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 11 coins. However, we're not in first or kindergarten anymore. We have negative coins. Kindergarten, you didn't have negative coins. You only had positive coins, so the answer was 11. This time, the answer is -11 because I have 11 negative coins. Does that make sense? Okay. Well, let's do another one. So this says 3 plus -4. So that 3 is what? Positive or negative? That 3 is positive. So I don't need negative coins. I need 3 positive coins. To that, I'm going to add 4 negative coins. 1, 2, 3, 4. And suspiciously, I put the positives right next to the negatives. What did the yellow coin represent? The yellow coin represent +1. What did the minus coin represent? The minus coin represented -1. Well, think about this, those top 2 coins, the one blue and the one yellow. Well, that's literally 1 minus 1. Well, what's 1 minus 1? 1 minus 1 is 0. That goes away. What's that next group? 1 minus 1. That's 0. What's 1 minus 1? 0. So you get 0, 0, 0, and a 1 coin. And that 1 coin is negative. Therefore, the answer is -1. 3 plus -4 is -1. Okay, new rules. All right, let's do one together here. Literally do one together. You can do this pretty quickly. 2 plus -4. 2 plus -4. So, to use the coin method, that 2 is positive. I know it's positive. The sign of the coin is, or sign of the value is to the left of the number. Look at the 4. What's immediately to the left? A negative. What's immediately to the left of the 2? Well, nothing. That means it's positive. Okay. Okay, so 2 is positive, so I need 2 positive coins, and the 4 is negative, so I need 4 negative coins. Now here's the trick. The yellow represents +1. The blue represents -1. So those top 2 coins is 1 minus 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. What are you left with? I'm left with 2 negative coins. So the answer is -2. 2 plus -4 is -2. All right, one more. -6 plus -2. -6 plus -2. So I look to the first number. The first number is -6. So I represent that with 6 negative coins. To that, I'm going to add 2 more negative coins. This time I don't have any positives or negatives. I just have nothing but negatives. So how many negative coins do you have? I have 8 negative coins. Notice there was no 1 minus 1 here. They were just all negatives. So -6 plus -2 is -8. Got it? For those you need to see that again, rewind the video, play those 3 examples again. All right, so go ahead and pause the video, use the coin method to do these 4 problems, write down your answers in Google, the question number 1 on the Google Forms, and then come back for the answer. How'd you do with the coin method? All right, the first one, 5 plus -3 is +2. Bottom left, -3 plus -4 is -7. Top right, 3 plus -6 is -3. And the bottom left, -2 plus -5 is -7. Do you guys understand the coin method? Great. All right. We do have a slight problem. One slight problem. What's the problem with the coin method? What's the problem with the coin method? Anyone? What do you think? Do you want to use the coin method? Well, here's a problem. Use the coin method on this one. Oh, sure, it will work, but you're going to be drawing a whole lot of coins and doing a whole lot of counting. So the coin method, although it works each and every time, it's not very useful when the numbers get large. So we need to find the actual pattern or the technique that's used. Well, let's see if we can identify that. Okay, let's see if we can identify the pattern. So we had two that look like this. These were two of the ones that we just did. So we have a -3 plus a -4 is -7, and we got a -2 plus a -5, and that's also equal to -7 using the coin method. What do you notice between the answer and the original question? What does it look like was going on here? Well, it looks like what's going on here is that if both numbers are negative, then all you do is add the two numbers together. 3 plus 4 is 7, and you tack on a negative, and that literally is what's going on here. That's going to be our first rule. We don't need to write it down yet, but that's going to be our first rule. When both numbers are negative, we simply add the numbers together, and then tack on a negative, and there you go. There's the answer. But what about when one's positive and one's negative? Well, let's see what's going on here. Look at the start. 5 plus -3 is +2, and 3 plus -6 is -3. Look at the answers. Look at the start. What does it look like? What does it look like is going on here? Well, it looks like we're subtracting. 5 minus 3 is 2. Well, the second one, well, if I take the biggest number there, 6, and I subtract 3, I do get to the answer, but this time the answer was negative. So there's something more going on here. But it certainly looks like on the top there, when we're adding two negatives, you simply add. And on the bottom one, when you have a positive and a negative, it looks like we're subtracting the two numbers. We just have to address why is one of them positive and one of them is negative for the subtracting one, and we will address that. Okay, but that is literally what's going on here. One we're adding and one we're subtracting. Hey, think about the irony of that. For addition, notice on all four of these problems, we're adding two numbers. Some of the times we're going to be adding, and some of the times we're going to be subtracting. That's for adding. This is why negative numbers give students a lot of problems, because it's not natural. It's not like we've been doing for the last 8 or 9 years. So it turns out there are two rules. Now, you're not going to see this in the book. These are words that I use. But there's two basic rules for adding. Remember, this is for adding. And the two rules, one applies when the signs are the same. That means either both numbers are positive or both numbers are negative. This is what I mean by same signs. So, for instance, 4 plus 2. 4 is positive and 2 is positive. Or -4 plus -2. Notice both of those numbers are negative there, but we're still adding, okay? The second one, same signs. The second one, we're going to say opposite signs. That's when either the first one is positive and the second one is negative, or vice versa. The first one's negative and the second one's positive. For instance, 4 plus -2. 4 is positive, 2 is negative. Or maybe the first one's negative and the second one is positive. So there's going to be two rules. So step number one, to add two numbers, you got to identify whether the signs are the same or the signs are different. In other words, opposite of each other, okay? So now we're going to write down the rules. This is way crazy important that you write these rules down and you understand them. Okay, so these are going to be the rules for same sign, okay? And notice it says rules for adding integers. Make sure that's on your paper. We're going to be adding. You're going to know you're adding because there's going to be a plus sign, okay? But we're either going to be adding same signs or different signs. All right, same signs. That means both signs are positive or both are negative. And I'll show you two examples. 7 plus 4. 7's positive, 4's positive. Okay? If that's the case, you're going to add the absolute value of each integer. That means you're literally going to take the absolute value of both numbers. Hey, that's why I taught you absolute value last class. Okay. Step number two, you're going to use the sign of the integers. In other words, if you are adding positives, the answer is positive. If you are adding negatives, the answer is negative. So let's see how that works. 7 plus 4. We already know the answer is 11. Okay. Well, it says if you're adding same signs, hey, I'm adding same signs, take the absolute value of both numbers. What's the absolute value of 7? 7. What's the absolute value of 4? 4. And then it says add those two. 7 plus 4 is 11. And it says use the original sign. 7 and 4. Were we adding positives or were we adding negatives? We were adding positives, so the answer is positive 11. Let's see what happens when we're adding negatives. Check it out. I'm adding negatives. Both signs are the same. I got a -7 and a -4. The rule states, take the absolute value of both numbers. The absolute value of -7 is 7. The absolute value of -4 is 4. And it says, add those two numbers together. 7 plus 4 is 11. But this time, check it out. That second step there says, use the original sign. Were the numbers originally positive or were they originally negative? On the previous one, they were positive. On this one, they're negative, which is why the answer is negative. Okay, we need to see a whole lot more examples. So here we go. Here's how it works. There are the rules right there. If you are adding, you're either adding same signs or you're adding opposites or different signs. How do I know they're opposite or different? Look at the two numbers, 12 and 31. Are they both positive or negative, or are they different? They're both negative. Okay, if they were different, one will be positive and one would be negative. So these are same signs, so we follow the same sign rules. So the same sign rule says this, you take the absolute value of both numbers. What's the absolute value of -12? It's 12. What's the absolute value of -31? It's 31. It says add those two numbers together. 12 plus 31 is 43. And then it says use the original sign. Look back to the blue. Were the signs originally positive or negative? They were originally negative, so the answer is -43. Check it out. I am adding same or different signs. Hey, they're the same. They're both negative. The rule states, take the absolute value of both numbers. The absolute value of -7 is 7. The absolute value of -12 is 12. 7 plus 12 is 19. Look back to the original signs. I'm looking at the blue there. Were the signs originally negative or positive? They were originally negative. Therefore, the answer is negative. One more time. Check it out. Same or different signs? Same signs. -5, -4. It says take the absolute value of both numbers. The absolute value of -5 is 5. The absolute value of -4 is 4. 5 plus 4 is 9. Now go back to the blue. Were the signs originally positive or negative? They were originally negative, so the answer is -9. Do you need to use the rules for this one? Well, clearly no, but the rules still must work. Well, the rule says take the absolute value of both numbers. Absolute value of 2 is 2. Take the absolute value of 1 is 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. Go back to the original. Were they originally positive or negative? They were originally positive, so therefore the answer is 3. So no, you don't need to use the rules for this one, but remember the rules will still work. Okay, go ahead and do these 4. This is question number 2 on the Google Forms. Do these 4. Okay, that's how you do adding same signs. So what are we missing? Well, we're missing what happens when you add opposite or different signs. So remember the pattern. When the signs were the same, look at those top 2, right? You add the numbers. When the signs are different, right? One's positive and one's negative, you are going to subtract the numbers. The question is whether it's positive or negative, and that's what we're going to answer with our. Okay, so this is adding integers when the signs are different. Adding integer when the signs are different. In other words, you're adding a positive and a negative, or a negative and a positive. Here's your 2 examples. Check it out. The first one, 7's positive, 4 is negative. On the second one, 7's negative, 4 is positive. But we know we're adding because, check it out, look at that plus symbol. That's how you know you're adding. All right, here we go. Take a deep breath. This one's the more challenging one. Step number 1 is still the same. We're going to take the absolute value of both numbers. Step number 2 is the weird one. It says big minus small. When you take the absolute value, you're going to get 2 numbers. One will be larger than the other. You simply write the big number minus the small number. Step number 3, you go back to the original problem and ask yourself, did you originally have more positive or more negative numbers? I don't mean literally like, hey, there's one positive and one negative. I mean the numbers themselves. Look at that first one there on the left. I got a 7 and a -4, right? If you were thinking about in the coin method, would you have more positive coins or more negative coins? I'd have more positive coins. Okay, that means the answer is going to be positive. Look at the second one, -7 plus 4. Okay, did you have more negative coins or did you have more positive coins? I got more negative coins, so the answer is going to be negative. That's how you figure out whether the answer is positive or negative. So how does this work? Look at the one on the left there. First step, take the absolute value of both numbers. The absolute value of 7 is 7. The absolute value is 4. I got two numbers there. Step number 2 says take the big number, subtract the small number. Well, 7 is big, 4 is small. So I do 7 minus 4. 7 minus 4 is 3. And then it says go back to the original problem. Did you have more positive numbers or more negative? Or I should say coins in this case. More positive coins or more negative coins? I got more positive coins, so the answer is positive. On the second one, the absolute value of negative 7 is 7. The absolute value of 4 is 4. I still get 7 and 4. So it's still 7 minus 4, which is 3. But look at the original problem. Did I have more negative coins or more positive coins? I got more negative coins. Therefore, this answer is negative 3. Okay, here's how it works. Step number 1. Do you have same signs or different signs? Hey, check it out. I got different signs. 7 is positive, 18 is negative. So I followed the different sign rule. The different sign rule says take the absolute value of both numbers. That gives me 7 and an 18. I do big minus small. Well, 18 is big, 17 is small. So I do 18 minus 7, which is 11. All right? And then I go back to the blue there. Okay, if you think about in the coins, would I have had more negative coins or more positive coins? Would I have 18 negative coins, 7 positive? There's way more negative coins. Therefore, the answer isn't 11. It's negative 11. Make sense? Let's see this again. Same or different signs. I got a negative 11 and a positive 6. Those are different. Those are not the same. Because remember, if the signs are the same, you add the two numbers. If the signs are different, you're going to subtract the two numbers. But you take the absolute value of both first. Then you do big minus small. 11 minus 6 is 5. Go back to the original, the blue part. Did you have more negative coins or more positive coins? I got more negative coins. I got negative 11 coins, positive 6 coins. So more negative coins, therefore the answer is negative. Could the answer ever be positive? Sure. Check this one out. Let's do this one together. Different signs. 20 is positive, 6 is negative. So I take the absolute value of both, which you guys are probably skipping right now. You're just writing the answer. That will give me 20 and a 6. You do the big number minus the small number. 20 minus 6. 20 minus 6 is 14. Now go back to the blue. More positive coins or more negative coins? I got more positive coins, which is why the answer is 14. I think we need to do some of these together. All right, let's do these together. So same or different signs? Different signs. Okay, negative 12 plus 18. Negative 12 and a positive 18. Okay, different sign says take the absolute value of both numbers. That gives me 12 and 18. Do big minus small. That would be 18 minus 12. Hey, that's 6. Now go back to the original problem. More negative coins, more positive coins. There's 18 positive. There's 12 negative coins. That means the answer is positive. The bottom one, different signs, a positive 8 and negative 6. Absolute value of both numbers. Big minus small. That gives me a 2. More positive coins, more negative coins. More positive, so the answer is positive 2. Upper right, different signs, a positive 7, negative 12. Big minus small, that would be 12 minus 7. That's a 5. More positive coins, more negative coins. Look at the very top. There's negative 12 negative coins. Or there's 12 negative coins, and there's 7. There's more negative coins, therefore the answer is negative 5. Opposite signs. Absolute value of both. Subtract big minus small. More negative coins, more negative coins, so negative 2. Is it starting to make sense? If you have the rules in front of you, you can't go wrong, right? If you have the rules in front of you, I should say, and you understand how to use the rules, you can't go wrong. All right, let's do this one together. This is a combination of same and different signs. Notice I got both rules written there, same signs or different signs. We'll go from upper left to lower right. The first one, upper left, same or different signs. I got a negative 2 and a negative 6. Hey, that's the same sign. Same signs, you add the numbers. 2 plus 6 is 8, and use the original sign, negative 8. Second one down, same or different signs. Different signs, a negative 2 and a positive 5. Take the absolute value and subtract big minus small. That would be 5 minus 2. 5 minus 2 is 3. More positives or more negatives? More positives, so the answer is 3. Negative 9 plus 5, same or different signs? Different, a negative 9 and a positive 5. Take the absolute value of both, big minus small. That would be 9 minus 5. 9 minus 5 is 4. More negative or more positive? More negatives, right? So we get what? Negative 4. Upper right. Same or different? Hey, those are different. Big minus small, 6 minus 4 is 2. More negatives and more positives? More negatives, so negative 2. Next one, same or different signs? Hey, they're both the same, negative 4 and negative 10. That means you add the two numbers. 4 plus 10 is 14. Use the original sign. They're both negative, so the answer is negative 14. And the last one, same signs, add the two, use the original sign. There you go. Okay. The worksheet is going to use next year's notation. So this is how we just did the class. This is what's in the book. So if you got to refer back to the book, the worksheet's going to look like this. It's the same problem. This says 4 plus negative 6. Make sure you take a good look at that. Make sure you understand that. You should be good to go. This is just adding. Ironically, obviously, the rule for adding, sometimes you add, sometimes you subtract. That's why negative numbers give students conniptions when we first learn this. Okay, having the rules in front of you, following the rules. Some of you may want to watch this video again, will help you understand this. But trust me when I say you will get this. It just will probably take a little bit of time. All right, here's your worksheet. With that, I'll end the class, and I'll see you guys on Friday.